Gather round, let's start the show. KJJ on the mic, let the wisdom flow. Crowns on our heads, we're ruling the scene. Conversations deep, like you've never seen. Words are our power, let's raise the stakes. In a world of chat, we're the ones who make good conversations. Let's make it loud in the circle of queens and kings with conversation. We're spitting truth in the circle of queens and kings. We're standing proud. Talk about dreams and the battles we face. We're here to ignite. Where the real ones at? Join the conversation, don't be shy. With crowns on our heads, we're reaching for the sky. Let's have a conversation.
Would help if I add myself to the stage. Hello, good evening, happy Friday to all of you guys out there. Let me know if you guys can hear me and see me. Okay, because we have a rainstorm. Internet has been going in and out, so I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Come on in. Make sure you guys like this video. It builds it up in the algorithm. So come on in. Again, I'm Kim. I'm your host. This is KGJA, Crowns and Conversations. This is Unworldly Perspectives, where your perspective is respected long as you do it respectfully. So come on in. Say hello. Let me know that you are on, and we are about to get started. Can you guys hear me okay in the audience? All right. Being that this is a very controversial topic conversation, we ask that you guys give your perspective, but you give your perspective very respectfully. We all are different. We have different opinions, different thoughts, different suggestions, and we want to make sure that we are able to do that, but we want to do it respectfully. So today's topic is the Karmelo Anthony case. We're going to talk about whether you feel like he got too much time. We're also going to discuss whether you feel like he should have got self-defense. We're going to also talk about whether the 35-year sentence was too much. We're going to talk about the defense. We're going to talk about it all. So make sure you like and subscribe. To all of my mods, if we get some people that is coming on and they are rude, get them out of here. We ain't got time for that shit today or tomorrow. So we're going to dive right in. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Freedom Day to everybody. I want to make sure I say that before we begin. Juneteenth, 1865 is a very important day for all of us. If you are following me on Facebook, please make sure you go on. I did a spoken word on Juneteenth. Today is our independence, and I hope that you are doing something to celebrate it with you and your family. I got on the Juneteenth colors, of course. I got the green light going, everything. So I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes while I pull up, and we're gonna dive right into it. I've been following the Karmelo Anthony case since it first begun. I have my perspective on it. I'm sure you guys have y'all perspective on it, and we're gonna get into it. I will be dropping the link. If you guys want to come up, share your perspective, please feel free to do so. But again, please make sure that you do it respectfully and in order. I am a African American woman, black, whatever term you like to use. And so using the N word on my channel is unacceptable. Everything in this video is alleged and on my own very personal opinion. So, get the legal part out of the way. Everything is alleged. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to bring up, if y'all are not familiar, y'all know I like to bring receipts. So if you're not familiar with the case of Karmelo Anthony, I will be giving a brief case note on it, so you guys will know what we're talking about, so no one will be lost in the sauce, okay? So we're going to first start off. Hold on, y'all. I got to get to my notes. So how all of y'all out there doing? How are all of you guys doing? Hope you guys are well on this blessed Friday. It is raining where we are at. I'm in Louisiana. It is pouring down. I'm not sure the weather where you are, but here it is pouring down. Okay, so those that are not familiar with the Karmelo Anthony case, we're going to dive into a brief timeline of the case. And then if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, put it in the comments. All right, the Karmelo Anthony. On April the 2nd, 2025, at a track meet in Frisco, Texas, a confrontation occurred between Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, the deceased, under a team tent during a rain delay. Anthony stabbed Metcalf once in the chest. The wound pierced Metcalf's heart, and he later died. Anthony immediately claimed he was protecting himself, and he surrendered to the police at the scene. On the body camera footage, you later can hear Anthony saying, "I'm not alleged, I did it." Anthony was charged with first-degree murder and tried as an adult under Texas law. Let me tell you guys about the defense. The defense main arguments was Anthony attacked in self-defense. Metcalf was physically larger. Metcalf allegedly made physical contact first, and witness testimony indicated Metcalf pushed Anthony with both hands on his shoulders before stabbing. Let me tell you guys what the prosecution main arguments was. Prosecution main arguments was the confrontation did not justify deadly force. Anthony escalated a verbal dispute into a deadly encounter. The stabbing was intentional, not legally justified as self-defense. That's what the prosecution stated. This is the evidence that drew attention. Police body camera footage, Anthony's statement after the incident. We had eyewitnesses' testimony from students and coaches, and medical evidence showing a fatal chest wound. As you know, a Collie County jury found Anthony guilty of murder. They sentenced him to 35 hard years in prison. They tried him as an adult as well. The jury rejected the self-defense claim. The jury also rejected the lesser alternative that could have resulted in a shorter sentence. So all of that, the jury so in layman's terms, the jury rejected manslaughter, which could have gave him up to 10 years in prison. They rejected that and gave him murder, 35 years. Anthony was sentenced to 35 years in prison. As I stated, he has filed an appeal. He is challenging the conviction. Also, in my research, he has to July the 9th to get that appeal into the courts. So why did the case become, hello, Angela, my beautiful sister. Make sure you guys like, so it can build the channel back in its algorithm. Why the case became so controversial? Texas self-defense law, which in my opinion, the defense did not use the self-defense law appropriately. I have receipts, court dockets as well, that the defense should have did. And we will get into our personal opinion after I give the facts of the case, okay? So, Texas self-defense law, whether deadly force was justified, race and jury selection, sentencing of teenagers tried as adults, social media coverage and public opinion before trial. So, we're going to get into the central legal question. So the jury was faced with whether Metcalf touched or pushed Anthony. The question was whether Anthony reasonably believed deadly force was immediately necessary to protect himself from death or serious bodily injury. The jury concluded the prosecution proved beyond a reasonable doubt that the stabbing was not justified as self-defense. So, that is what the jury came up with. So, we have all of these questions. Was his sentence justified? Was this based on race? Was the jury selection jury of his peers? Do you feel like he should have been giving manslaughter versus murder? We're going to address all of that. Again, all of my mods, as we get into our perception of things, I just gave you guys the facts. Those are the facts available on Google and the actual case documents. So I gave you the facts of the case, when it happened, where it happened, and all of that. So we're going to get into the basis of our perspective after I give you guys some commentary on whether you believe it's race or not. We're going to start with race because that's the elephant in the room. A lot of people think had he not been African American, he would not have given 35 years in prison. So I have a case that I am going to show you guys on two white boys murdered a black teen in Texas and they walked free. Two of them murdered him and they walked free. So we're going to get into the context of whether it's race or not. It's up for you to decide. Your perspective is your perspective. But we're going to talk about cases. We're also going to talk about self-defense cases, the doctrine in Texas, what is deemed to be self-defense or not. Y'all know before I give my perspective, I like to give the facts based on the law. Because anybody can have an opinion, but it needs to be based on what Texas law says. And I'm telling you guys right now, I have 2 degrees in criminal justice, and I'm going to keep it all the way 100 with you guys. They did not do, the defense did a very, very poor job on the defense of Anthony. Regardless of race, the defense did a very poor job on defending Karmelo Anthony. They did not do a good job on making sure the jurors were more of his peers. They did not do a good job on citing if they were going with the self-defense. They did not do a good job of proving self-defense. They did not bring enough character witnesses. And the list goes on and on and on. Okay? So I'm going to share my screen on the commentary. Shout out to Taylor House Publishing. This was sent to me. So regardless, hello, horrible defense can't lie on that. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to set race aside for a minute. And we're going to simply say the defense need to throw their licenses in the trash because they did not properly defend their client. I will file an appeal just based on improper defense. Simple as that. Because if you're going to go with a defense of self-defense, at least present a presentable case. He didn't have a chance based on how the defense defended him. He didn't have a chance at all. Regardless of guilty or not guilty, you present a case and either the DA or the defender, the public defender or an attorney, a court appointed or a private attorney, it is their legal responsibility to properly defend their client, and they did not do so. So I'm going to show this case because there's a lot of people that think that it is based on race, that he didn't get a proper trial. So we're going to talk about different cases, and we're going to talk about this case that happened. A 19-year-old David Pleasant, who was killed by Alec Addison and Matthew Schuller. One of them was given 4 years, but was eligible for parole in 2, and the other one never saw the courtroom. So let's let this play. Let me share the screen, and we're going to... Absolutely. Absolutely. A juvenile in an emotional charge situation needs a good defense. Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to have a good defense, especially if you're going to go with the defense of self-defense. They did not cite any cases that has used self-defense and won. They done nothing. I was appalled. I was like, y'all going with self-defense, but y'all not. What are y'all doing? They got very little objection. It was just horrible. It was always horrible across the board. If you know law, it was very horrible. All right, y'all. We're going to get into this case, and we're going to see. All right, y'all. Now let's play. Shout out to Taylor House. I'm not going to play all of it for copyright reasons, but I'm going to let you guys hear a little bit about this case.
Adamson, 2 17-year-olds from Prosper, Texas, who killed 17-year-old David Pleasant in cold blood outside of a park in Little Elm, Texas. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings, all praises due to the Most High. In this case is most relevant on the heels of the Karmelo Anthony verdict, because these two white kids, one of them only got 4 years and the other walked scot-free after admittingly killing the young brown man in what they're calling a D-rug deal gone bad. Now I'm going to let you watch this video where my man breaks down the case. Then I'll be back a little bit later with some more commentary on how this,
according to an arrest, responded to reports of a shooting on the 200 block.
How this justice system
On a seemingly ordinary day in Little Elm, tragedy struck when David Noel Pleasant lost his life. It all began on a fateful Friday afternoon when police responded to reports of a shooting on the 200 block of Paladin Place. Pleasant was found lying on the ground near a playground. He was bleeding from his head, and there were 2 spent 9mm shell casings on the ground in the middle of the cul-de-sac near his body. The investigation quickly revealed that this shooting was no random act of violence. According to an arrest affidavit, a 16-year-old girl ran to the scene and identified the man as Pleasant, telling the officers he was her boyfriend. She then informed the officers that she had gone to the location to purchase marijuana. She had been trying to reach him but couldn't, so she went to the park to look for him. Little did she know that her search would lead to an unimaginable tragedy. Medics arrived at the scene and transported Pleasant to the Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital in Plano. He was placed on a ventilator as he had no brain activity. He was removed from life support and died the following morning. During the course of the investigation, Little Elm police would discover that the shooting was captured on surveillance video from the 1600 block of Night Trail. The video showed a gray Volkswagen pull up at the cul-de-sac. Pleasant could be seen walking up to the vehicle from the playground, according to the affidavit. Pleasant is then seen entering the right rear door of the vehicle. He stays in the car for a few minutes, and then it shows him running away from the vehicle towards the playground.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name.
Okay, guys, so I just gave you guys a brief overview of this case. The reason why this case was cited, because one was charged around the same age as Karmelo and Metcalf. One was charged and one was not. So this person, this young man, it was not in the act of a fight or anything. This young man's life was taken senselessness, and one was only given 4 years. So 4 years, and that's premeditated murder. These two young men did. That should have been life without the possibility of parole, if we're going to really put the hammer down like in Karmelo Anthony's case. So ask yourself how a young man, before we put race in it, how a young man, a 3.7 grade point average, no infractions with the law, is sentenced to 35 years. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't have been punished or he should have got the self-defense. I'm just simply saying, in Texas, they've given 2 young men a slap on the wrist. But this other young man is giving 35 years in prison. There were no testimony that he's aggressive, been in fights, bullying. Now, they did say he was the one that initiated and aggravated the fight by getting smart with Metcalf. However, they had no one to testify that he's a bully. They had no one to testify that he's a bully. They had no one to testify that he is an aggressor. This young man actually jumped in a swimming pool and saved someone's life. And as I stated, a straight A student. So these two that happen to be white got a slap on the wrist. This young man was running away from the vehicle and they shot him in cold blood. Wave says, almost like to sentence him like a hardened criminal. Absolutely. That was just my point. They sentenced him like he was a hardened criminal. Like he had been in the system. He had an extensive juvenile record. That's how they punished him. He also said, I like to hear if the fact that it was at school is an intense factor that was applied. Yeah. But it was at an event as well. That is the link. I'm dropping a link. Remember, y'all, keep it respectful. Your perspective is welcome. Long as you guys keep it respectful. I'm going to be respectful to you, whatever your opinion may be or your perspective. You guys make sure you grab the link, you come up, you keep it respectful. So, and we're going to go at the angle of race. Do you guys feel like Karmelo Anthony was given 35 years because, and that's just one example. I have several examples that I'm going to be pulling up. Do you guys think that he was? Hello, Brittany. How are you, love? Hold on just a second, yeah. He was overcharged. I agree 110%. 35 years for a student that has a 3.7 grade point average. Also, a student that has humanitarian heart, has saved someone's life. Y'all, please excuse the noise in the background. One of my neighbors is an idiot, likes to ride up and down the street late in the evening on this little moped thing. Also, this young man does not have any juvenile record. So how are we explaining 35 years? Simple. As I stated when I first started, the defense need to throw their licenses in the trash can. He got no good defense, no way, shape, form, or fashion. Black, blue, white, purple, green. He didn't get proper defense. The defense was garbage. So, if you go with the perception that he killed someone, he needs to be punished. We just viewed a case where a young man, two young men, brutally killed this young man, took this young man's life. It wasn't an act of self-defense. This young man wasn't fighting them, none of that. And one walked away with 4 years and the other one didn't see the courtroom. Welcome, Henry Kitchman. He said, every witness lied. The judge racist. The lawyers is racist. Austin slipped and fell on the knife. Karmelo was jumped. Absolutely. So, great point. The judge has released the video footage. The video footage is edited of the incident. Very edited. You can tell if you got simple editing skills that it was edited. Let me pull up the incident so you guys can see how edited it was. Why wasn't this showed in court? Y'all know that we are in a day and age of video cameras. Everybody recording it. These kids see a fight brewing. Several people had their cell phones out recording. We're in that day and age where everybody wants to go viral. So it was some videos of it. It was some videos of it. I also find it very interesting that Austin Metcalf's twin did not show up until sentencing. They did not call him on the stand. It just wasn't enough witnesses. It wasn't no character witnesses to talk. It just was a very bizarre trial. Very bizarre. Let me pull up this doctored, edited incident that they just released. And I said, what is this? Okay, let me pull this up. Let's see. We're going to get into it. Adol Wave said it's interesting too because yes, 35 years is a harsh sentence, but can be interpreted as he took a life, so they take a lifetime from him, which is 35 years represent. That's a great point. That is a great point. Was that their way of giving him life? Because he's gonna be a very old man if that sentence stands. So was that the juror's way of giving him life for life? That's a very good point. So we're going to get into this video that they released. Also, content warning. This is the video. Let me share my screen.
Hold on. If somebody is shooting the victim, they need to be over there. Don't reach for anything, all right, man? Stop right there for me. Dispatch 443. I got the suspects, and they're currently treating the victim.
Y'all see her at the bottom? He running.
Stadium. All right. Any weapons on you like that? I got the alleged suspect in handcuffs right now, detained. Have a seat here real quick, man. Watch your head. Let me check your hood here, buddy, okay? Yes, sir. Well, I'll tell you what, lean this way so you're not resting on your hands, okay? Yes, all right, see a little bit of blood on your hands there, okay? Yes, all right. So your first name is Karmelo? Let's see, hold on.
Notice how respectful he is. If he was just this thug.
K-A-R-M-E-L-O. Karmelo, what's your last name? A-N-T-H-O-N-Y. We're ready, you win. I'm in 12th grade. 10th grade? You go to Emerson? No, sir. Where do you go? Centennial. Okay. I'm in 12th grade. 12th grade? Yes. Okay, no Centennial. All right, sit tight for me real quick, bud, all right?
Where is the rest of the video? Like, where is the rest? Where is the rest of the video? You can tell how edited that was. It only showed him running away from the tent. It only showed him running. Like I said, I know it's more videos out there, and it's giving very much, are you kidding me? But that is what was released to the public. It shows him coming away from the tent and running. They also showed the knife. The police officer said that he saw blood on his hand. The police officer also touched his hand without any gloves on. The moment he noticed that he had what is considered evidence on his hand, he should have immediately put on gloves and called for backup for a crime scene person. That baffled me. So where's the rest? Where's the rest? Because just running, are you kidding me? Just running, are you kidding me? So we talked about the defense, giving him a horrible defense. Horrible defense. If they're going for self-defense, the jury was supposed to put in hold on just 1 second. Yes, if the jury if the defense was going with self-defense, let me tell you guys what the self-defense doctrine is in the state of Texas. You tell me whether the defense did this properly. Hold on 1 second, yeah. My job is steady texting me. They got some issues they gonna have to resolve themselves. Brittany, what do you think the video was edited? Do you think the video was edited? So when you're going for a self-defense in Texas, Texas recognized a multiple assailants doctrine. That is when a person claiming self-defense is not limited to defending against only the individual who throws the first punch. If the evidence shows that several people were acting together, aiding, encouraging, or participating in the attack, the jury may be instructed to consider the threat posed by the group as a whole. I didn't hear that doctrine brought up none by the defense. Nor did I hear cases cited that use the doctrine as a defense. For an example, Dickey versus State. Dickey claimed he was attacked by multiple individuals during a confrontation. The court discussed when the defendant is entitled to a jury instruction on self-defense involving multiple attackers. This case is often cited in the multiple assailant self-defense decisions. It was not cited in Karmelo Anthony's trial at all. So how do the defense that has a law to practice, has a degree to practice law, not bring up a commonly used case? How do they not? And then to go in even further, we have Jordan versus the state. This is one of the leading Texas cases on self-defense against multiple assailants. Patrick Jordan argued he reasonably believed he was facing a threat from more than one person. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals ruled that he was entitled to a multiple assailant self-defense instruction for the jury. The conviction was reversed and remanded. So his appeal alone needs to be based on Texas self-defense against multiple assailants. It's already been testified that several people were in the tent. Also, it was testimony that he was jumped as well. So even if they did not put their hands on him, the doctrine says a threat of multiple people. He felt like a threat was coming from multiple people. Why didn't the defense use all of this information? The multiple assailants self-defense instruction is under the Texas law. I like to come with receipts, so I'm going to show you guys this defense. We're going to get into it. You can find this under the Texas District County Attorneys Association. It also cites the cases Penny versus the state and all of that stuff. Also has the Texas Penal Code. So the defense didn't give a right to jury instruction. They didn't do any of that. Facing multiple attackers is a classic example of disparity of force. They did not talk about disparity of force. This states that, let me show you guys this here, because this is good information. Let me show you guys this. So if you say, oh, where they wasn't armed. Well, Texas law says the disparity of force facing multiple attackers is a classic example of disparity of force. The law acknowledged that even if the attackers are unarmed, using only their fists, a swarming attack by multiple people drastically increases your risk of death or severe bodily injury. This disparity generally justifies a proportional escalation in self-defense, up to and including deadly force. Doesn't that sound familiar? The disparity of force should have been used in the defense of Karmelo Anthony. What happened, defense? What happened? The defense did a very shitty job. Based on the evidence of the case, the disparity of force should have been used. It was not. They had no character witnesses for him. It was nothing. So, The defense was garbage. Their license, they need to be reported to the bar because the defense was very asinine. It was horrible. I've seen some poor defended cases, but Karmelo Anthony's case is up there, ranks one of the highest cases where there was a very bad disparity in the defense of trying of his case. It was just bad from start to finish. The reason why it was bad from start, because from the start, they did not say anything about the jury. They didn't contest the picking of the jury. They allowed whatever the DA wanted. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm praying for better, but this ain't looking too good. You know, this ain't looking too good. So, the defense did not properly try this case at all. They did not do their job. And so the DA had a field day. They were salivating. Now, we're going to get on. We talked about self-defense. We're going to talk about the judge. The judge should have dismissed himself from the case. He was too close to the case. He have a personal relationship with the father. So he shouldn't have been on the case at all because he comes in with a bias automatically. You don't believe me? Let me show you the picture of the judge and the dad, along with the DA. Let's pull it up. See, I come with receipts. I love to come with receipts. You got the judge, the DA. At a house party. So how was he trying the case? Where they do that at? Oh, she messaged me. Hold on real quick. Okay, someone just showed me an attack of just one of my mods just sent me an attack footage I'm gonna show as well. But let's get into hold on, yeah. I was trying to show something else. Hold on. I don't know where the screen went. Okay, let's show this here right here. All right. This photo has been proven to be a verified. This is the photo of the DA, the dad, and the judge laughing and having themselves a real good time. Now, the dad is a sicko, Mr. Jeff Metcalf. He sexually assaults, racist, bigamy. I'm going to show examples of him as well. Let me pull up this video that was sent to me by one of my mods. On it says this is the video footage, so we're gonna dive into it. So we're gonna get into it. All right, y'all. Shout out to Keisha TV. I'm not gonna show a whole lot of it for copyright reasons, but we're gonna get into it. Hold on, y'all. Let me try to find where is it. Wait, y'all. Here you go. Let me go back. I'm trying to find the part, y'all, where it shows a little more. There you go. It's because I don't want to do her commentary. Okay. Okay, y'all. This shows them walking back to the tent.
Yeah, the only thing about this one, there's no sound. I feel like they said when they went in, they actually pointed in the direction here. So
One of my mods said every time the actual video showing him being assaulted is posted, they're taking it down. So she says she's trying to get it now.
I think I was looking in the wrong direction. I'm supposed to be looking under the canopy. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta rewind it. Okay, y'all, I'm slow. I was looking in the wrong direction. I should have been looking at the canopy and I was looking somewhere else. I'm sorry, I gotta rewind it because I was not looking at the right place.
Okay, here
But
go,
I saw
y'all.
him kind of fall back. So that is what they were referencing when they say you see him fall back. But that's him walking.
The highlighted is Karmelo.
I feel like that's him right there. I feel like that's him. Do y'all think that's him right there? I feel like that's him. Is it? I don't know. But let's just pay attention to the canopy because something is happening in the canopy. I feel like they still didn't give us a clearer version, but for some reason, everybody else said that it was very clear, so I feel like they still playing with us. They said that you could see. But they also said that they actually pointed out Karmelo.
That's still like, to me, I'm gonna stop it for copyrighted reasons, y'all. But it's still not clear to me. You can't hardly see anything going on under the tent. What do you guys think? It still look like it's different video clips pasted together, my opinion. It looks like it's some sections missing. Why is the camera at that angle? Why didn't they release a version where it was zoomed in on a canopy tent? Too far away. The technology today, you can zoom in. Where is the zoom in? And why is the camera so conveniently propped sideways where it's not directly on that particular tent, that canopy they were under? But you were able to see the camera show all of the canopies that was out there. But why the angle that we really need to zoom in on is at a weird, awkward angle? It's at a weird, awkward angle. So, I mean, so like, what are we doing? So with some of the evidence that I've presented on the defense, we clearly see that the video of Karmelo incident is doctored. The camera angle, the non-zoom in, when you see the guys walking, that's a great camera view. Clarity is good. But all of a sudden, when it comes to the incident, we get this weird angle. I'm all for fair trial. The justice system supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. The way this evidence is doctored up is showing he never had a fair trial. Do you think he still should have been punished? Do you think he should have still had some type of punishment? Want to hear you guys' perspectives. I'm going to drop the link in the comments, or you can put it in the chat, whichever you prefer. That is the link. Tell me something. What do you think? That is the link in the comments. Anybody want to give their take on it? The line is open for discussion. Please make sure you guys keep it respectful. Please make sure you guys keep it respectful when giving your opinion. So, based on those two things, I got more receipts. But based on those two things, what are you guys thinking? Brittany says he should have been punished, but no 35 years though. Maybe 2 years in manslaughter. Prayers to the Anthony's family. Absolutely. A child did lose his life. However, under the Texas laws, it's saying that what he did was considered self-defense. So how do they justify giving no time to someone that killed this young man brutally to 4 years? How is that justifiable? How is that justifiable? We already saw the case where these young men was given nothing. One was given nothing. The other one was given 4 years. And that was just one example. It's several more cases like that. That was only one example of the buffoonery going on in old Texas. Brittany says, yes, Austin shouldn't have been messing with Karmelo. Those twins were bullies. Those twins were bullies. I'm about to show you the behavior of the father that's also a sexual abuser as well as a racist on his behavior of why the twins felt the need to be bullying and think that bullying is okay. The father behavior is off the chain, crazy, very racist, and I'm about to pull that up right now. I'm pulling up the video. 1 second. And y'all, thank y'all for y'all patience. Our internet went down. I had all of this up. It was pouring. When I tell y'all pouring down, oh we. Okay, let me pull this video up. Yes, Austin should have been. Yep. Bully, bully, bully. Introvert rock star. And shout out to all of you guys that has done great commentary on this tragic situation. It's both tragic for the Austin losing his life as well as Karmelo losing his life in respects of him going away for 35 years. So it's a tragedy on both ends. The Anthony family has, for temporarily, has lost their son to the judicial system, was not given a fair trial. And the Metcalf racist behinds had to bury their child. So let me pull this video up so y'all can see Mr. Metcalf and his buffoonery. Okay. Dad called Karmelo a watermelon felon. Ain't that a racist comment? I mean, just a whole idiot out here. So we gonna show this here thing here right here. He showed his natural butt, didn't he? But he's a sexual predator. Y'all finna hear it. Let me play. Let's roll. Shout out to Introvert Rockstar. Shout out to my boo for sending me these. Y'all know I be so busy. I love help. I don't mind help at all. All right, let's get into this here. Let's roll this right up.
Travel back in time right quick to remind him who he is. Man, run the tape.
Hey, TikTok, I told you that when I came back, I would share some information with this platform. So at 4:30, I came on and I shared this. No other network has done this. You've seen it first right here with me. Breaking news. Jeffrey Metcalf. I broke it to the internet. Now, if you see it anywhere else, just know where they got it from. They got it from me. No other news network, no other TikToker, no other creator has this. In 2011, Jeffrey Metcalf was arrested for SA. Those twins was 4 years old at the time.
4 years old.
Shortly after that, the mother, Megan, packed up those fucking twins and got the fuck out of that house. Let's put the blame on him. Let's blame him for his son not being here. We need to shift focus. I don't mind dragging a Metcalf through the fucking mud if I could save Karmelo Anthony's fucking life.
After Jeff Metcalf publicly called Karmelo Anthony names and continued speaking about Carmelo's family, social media users began revisiting Jeff's past. As a result, an old criminal record has resurfaced online, fueling debate and criticism from people who believe the public should examine all sides of the story. Make that make sense. And again, in the words of the Williams brothers, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around.
Let me see, do he show any? Oh, here you go. Here go his ignorant behind.
You don't even know who your daddy is because 78% of you don't have your father in the home anymore. You got baby mamas running around with 8 kids so they can get EBT cards to feed you all. You think I'm being racist? No, I'm being real. Oh, you've got more melanin than me. Ooh, so you get more in privileges, more entitlement? Because 400 years ago, someone actually sold you to us and we took you over here and put you to work. And then we had a civil war to free your ass. And now you want to talk shit? Oh, I've been so oppressed. You couldn't even vote 1960.
Oh, my.
Look how far you've come. Look at all the free shit we give you.
You ain't giving nobody.
You're not oppressed. You're fucking entitled. You know what DEI stands for? Yeah. Means I don't have to be fucking qualified. I just have to be a certain color or a race or gender.
What you guys are watching is the father.
Whose broad ass idea was that? I'm gonna tell you right now.
That was unalive.
Charleston White. You think you're funny? We'll see who's laughing. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such a little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about Watermelon Felon? How's that one strike you? I hope he enjoyed his first night in that cell last night. Because he's going to have many nights to think about what the fuck he did.
Oh.
According to CD.
Okay, so That is the behavior of the father. Hello, Josh. Welcome to the channel. Welcome all of my new people that were viewing. We had several new people come in. All is welcomed here. Only thing we ask is when you give your perspective is respectful. This is the father with his ignorant behind. All of this rah. This is what he was teaching his children. That's why they felt it was okay to be bullies and harass. Our children, y'all, are what we teach them, whether it's good or bad. I don't care what you say. No child knows racism, colorism, any of that. That is taught behavior. Children come in innocent, very friendly, play with, they don't see color. That is taught behavior. This is their role model of what they had to look up to. So listening at the father, you already know that he's teaching them that people of different pigmentation is beneath them. They're giving people of my color handouts. So that gives you why they felt like he didn't deserve to be under the tent. Wasn't just because it wasn't his team or he wasn't on the team. His color, he doesn't deserve to be under the tent based on the father ideology, ignorance. With that look like a little shaved bird. That's ignorance. And it's too many people with his views and biasness going around the world today. And he absolutely taught his sons that. Now, the tragic thing is he now is missing a son, but he needs to hold himself accountable for the foolishness that he coming out of his mouth and that I'm sure he has taught his family. We have a responsibility to our children to teach them love, honor, and respect, regardless of nationality, regardless of social norms. It is our responsibility to teach them to have respect for people, not look down on people because they may be in a different position as them. That is our responsibility. And when you have children growing up and they're biased, nasty, racial slurs, speaking down on people, that is a product and a reflection of the parent. I said what I said. That's a reflection of the parent. So he's spitting all of this foolishness, and that's a reflection of the parent. Not to mention he's a sexual predator. 4-year-olds. He's lucky to even still be alive to be speaking this hate for sexually assaulting some 4-year-old children. You have to be a very sick individual. Very sick individual to be assaulting some 4-year-old children to the point where the mother had to move. That is sick. Now, I don't encourage violence. I don't encourage taking a law into your own hands. However, some people are not going to take lightly of you sexually assaulting their babies. Some people go Charles Bronson on you. If you're not familiar with Charles Bronson, Death Wish, the movie, people go Charles Bronson on you by touching their children. That is the most sick and vile thing you can do. Our babies are innocent and they should not ever be assaulted in any way. And it's a cold place for you when you have that type of mentality. So he's sick all the way around. So that is the personality of the dad that I'm sure was passed on. So as you begin to learn more and more about the type of people that Karmelo was dealing with, the doctored up videos, the ignorance of the defense, they did not properly defend him. We brought up the Texas law and the doctrine of self-defense. Have your perception changed on whether you think he should have been given 35 years? Have your perception changed on whether you feel like he should have been let go? It was self-defense. Or do you think he should have been punished, but just not as much time that he was given? What are your thoughts? If you didn't know all of these things from the case. Because see, the father's behavior is why those boys were damaged and thought it was okay to try to tell somebody where they can be and where they can't be. And see, the daddy need to be under the jail. You sexually assaulted 4-year-olds. Why are you still walking? What's happening with why you haven't been prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law? Some might call it white privilege. Because you should be registered as a sex offender as well. And I checked the sexual register. He's not registered as a sex offender. What's really going on here? So he projecting his own weirdness on Karmelo and his family. Worst type of behavior. He's taught them the ideology that you can do this to people. It's okay to bully. It's okay to tell people of dark pigmentation what they can and cannot do. Because I'm sure it was other children up under the tent that wasn't their team. I'm sure of it. And he was picked out because of his issue with him telling him he wasn't leaving and he can sit there and be there if he wanted to. Because the dad just showed you we're nothing. All we're good for is food stamps and welfare. All right, let me read some of you guys' comments. Brittany said extremely, Dr. and very sick. Yeah, he's sick. And most people, it's unaliving you if you touch their child. Joshua say 35 years for one stab is over sentencing, and I don't see how he got charged at all. We need the video. I showed the video, but it's so doctored. They have the camera angle in a very wonky position. They don't have it positioned on the tent, so you know that was doctored. They don't have it showing much. It's very edited and very weird. But however, the camera showing them walking Karmelo out and showing Austin coming in is very crystal clear. But they didn't zoom in on the tent or anything. And we all know the capabilities of technology nowadays. You can zoom in, all of that. So they didn't zoom in or any of that. So he shouldn't have got 35 years, Josh. What do you think he should have been sentenced in? If not 35 years, how much? Do you think he should have gotten manslaughter? Manslaughter? Do you think he should have gotten manslaughter? Self-defense at best. So, if we're going on the self-defense argument, the defense should have did the disparity of force self-defense claim. Do you think the defense properly tried his case? Do you think the defense represented him appropriately? He has several, whoever is appointed as his attorney, whoever Karmelo, because Karmelo has to agree. His family can't just go out and find him a lawyer. The lawyer has to go to the prison and see him, and Karmelo has to sign off on that person being able to represent him. They have to July the 9th to get that appeal in, but they have several angles that they can get this appeal. First of all, the misconduct of the judge. I'm also going to show y'all a video talking about the judge. The judge is also a pedophile, so birds of a feather flock together. The judge is also on a sexual registration, messing with children. You're sick. And so apparently that's what his circle of friends does. The defense can go at it on the self-defense. They also can ask for a change in venue where it's not the case is not even tried in that county, based on the fact that the DA, the judge, the daddy seems like he got a stronghold in that community. He's connected. So due to the fact that he's connected, he will not get a fair trial. So self-defense at its best based on the disparity of force law. Also, there are some people who believes that he should have gotten manslaughter. A crime was committed. A lot of people think. And he should have gotten manslaughter with maybe up to 10 years, 5 years, and then eligible for parole. If you're thinking he should have still been punished, but not 35 years. So who out there watching thinks he should have gotten manslaughter? Dakota says first-degree murder in Texas carries 5 to 99 to life sentence. Yes, it does. And they gave him the median. And one of the viewers said he believed that he were given 35 years because of life for life. And that may be their thinking. That may be what they were thinking. Joshua says, I believe they did. He was going to lose either way. We ain't had a win since OJ. Well, had his defense properly defended and cited some of these cases that used the doctrine, Texas law, the judge would have had to give the right to jury instruction. The jury would have had to look at that with the cases cited. He did not. It was his rights for that, and they did not give that. So the good thing about it is, because he did not take a plea deal, he has a lot of options. Definitely can file an appeal. I believe evidence was suppressed. We see it in this video. This is an edit video. It's all over the place. Where is the actual footage? Y'all have doctored it up. And then the release of it is suspect for me as well. So when you get to all of those variables if we're going by Texas law, which is stating the disparity of force based on Texas law, and if we believe the accounts of what Karmelo has saying and a couple of more eyewitnesses about being pushed, there was several people in there, he was jumped, then he should have gotten a self-defense. If you think of it on the aspect of, well, he did unalive someone, he shouldn't have bought the knife at school, at the event in the first place. He should have at least gotten manslaughter, 5 to 10 years. If you have that thought, though, let's go with this. This is a very bright young man, very respectful young man. He was not rude, aggressive, or anything with the police. He said, yes, sir, no, sir, very articulate. This young man brought a knife. We wasn't there at his school. We don't know, with the ideology that the father has spewed into his children, he may have been being bullied by the twins or the person that was unalived. I believe his name is Austin. He may have been bullied throughout the school. He may be a known bully. And he may have gotten sick of it and said, I tell you what, the next time I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to be ready. Because I'm sick of it. Bullying takes its toll on people. That's why us as parents got to learn how to teach our children to keep their damn hands to themselves. Okay? Because every child is not going to let you bully them. And it's a very tragic situation. No one deserves their life to be taken. But we got to teach our children to keep their damn hands to themselves. And bullying is never okay. Because it's a lot of people in the cemetery that was bad in bullying. Because people got fed up. So it goes back on the parents. What are you teaching? I just showed the video of what the father done behind teaching. Nothing but hate and ignorance. Don't know what the hell he's talking about. Because I'm sure he didn't use food stamps and welfare before too. But I don't know why they use that when trying to insult people of dark pigmented skin. Why are you using state assistance against? Because if we go to the statistics, you have your statistics wrong. So, out of curiosity, let me see. Let's see what the percentage is. Okay, so see, people like to be ignorant. So we're gonna go over the percentage. Mr. The dad, ignorant behind, he said all we do is be on government assistance, right? Let me share the screen of the percentage. See, receipts don't lie, and the math ain't mathing when they try to be ignorant. So, see, you can't be ignorant and don't know what you're talking about. I like to come with facts. This is the total of recipients receiving government assistance. We have whites at 35.4%. We got African Americans at 25.7%. Now I have 4 degrees. I ain't no mathematician, but I do know how to do basic math. Is 35 lower or higher than 25? Anybody can help me out. Is it lower or higher? Hispanic is 15%, Asian 3.9%, Native American 1.3%. That's because they help each other. And other unknown is 18.1%. But I noticed that is used as an insult when trying to insult the African American community. So I just wanted to bring up some of the percentages if we're going to speak facts. If we're speaking facts, the math don't math up when you're trying to insult someone. Least insult based on the facts and not something you think you know. So I just wanted to despair and debunk that buffoonery that came out of his mouth. Hopefully he gets an appeal. I agree. He has to July the 9th. Hold on, yeah. So he has to July the 9th to file an appeal. I don't know. I haven't seen. Last time I checked, he has not gotten an attorney yet. It is some people out there that has donated money that is ready to pay for his defense. However, I don't think as of now, let me check, have he agreed to an attorney? I don't think he has. I don't think he has. But it's a lot of people, it's a lot of content creators that has been on this story all day and all night. But the notice of appeal has been signed, though. Has been filed. The notice of appeal has been filed. Wait a minute. I think, Dakota, didn't you send me something about he got an attorney? Let me see something. I think one of my mods, Dakota, did send me that he got an attorney. Hold on. Yes. He has an attorney and his name is Donnie. I can't say it, Pareles or something like that. Let's see. We got News Nation. Let's see what News Nation. This was today. Let's see what they saying. Oh, he said he's no longer involved in the case. Donnie Perales, who was initially appointed to represent Anthony on appeal, told News Nation in an email he is no longer involved in the case. It is anticipated that the Anthony family will be hiring an attorney for the appeal. He added that attorney Laura Vela has been appointed to represent Anthony on appeal. So he has a court-appointed attorney as of right now until the family hires a private lawyer. His family seem like they got their head up their ass. His family got to get their head off and up their ass in order for them to get him some help. It'll be years before he gets the appeal, and his family ain't shit either. Nah, his family is ridiculous. Like, and because the dad wanted to use the money for other stuff. So, do you guys think that this case was based on race? Race and fairness. We already know he was not given a fair trial. He was not treated fairly. Do you think he was not treated fairly based on the color of his skin? I have several of you guys say, no, his sentence did not fit the bill. One of you guys said he should have been let off on self-defense. My perspective on it is, knowing some of the facts of the case, I would have gave him a little time for poor judgment on bringing a knife. However, I would have taken into account that this is a straight A student. He doesn't have a juvenile record. Good kid. 35 years is ridiculous. Because you've given killers that have premeditatedly killed someone based off the case that I showed earlier. They chased this young man down and killed him. One was given no time at all, and the other one was given 4 years. No time, and the other one was given 4 years. Help it make sense. Help it make sense. You can't help it make sense. One was given 4, the other one was given nada. And they brutally killed this young man. All right, Josh. They brutally killed this young man. So what are we saying? So this lady that's in Texas, she's a civil rights activist. She's a civil rights activist, and I've been watching a lot of her content. Hold on. Let me see. One of my mods sent me the tape. Let me see something. See, why is it still so grainy? It's just so... Yeah, it's still the same angle. It's still the same angle. Let me show you guys what she had to say about the judge. Her name is... This was so funny to me. Let me show y'all what she had to say about the judge. Check this out.
Judge Roach, now I'm on your avenue. Okay? Did y'all know that there's a third-party website Because y'all know I deal with judicial accountability, right? Y'all know I bring them judges and I slang them when they dirty, right? So there's a third party that I want you all to be able to go to. And I'm going to make sure that we put it in the article so you can use that as a resource. Because whatever court you go to in the United States that deal with family and children, you need to know who's on this list. And this is a list of child abuse judges. This is child abuse judges, and this comes from the childabusejudges.com. Yeah. See, you don't know until you know, right? Okay. So as of 12/22/2025, 1,400 plus judges have been accused of child abuse. Many judges 2 to 6 times. So let's see what state we got. Texas up there.
Y'all can hear that judge on this list.
I'm just going to show y'all Texas. Let's see who name on here.
Receipts.
Oh yeah, here you go. My Versace glasses kind of got in the way. But Judge John Roach Jr. is on that list. And this is the same judge that convicted Karmelo. So you know what they say. Don't throw rocks living in a what? Glass house. So you need to know who is governing you guys. Because if you don't, how do you know how to move? That's why elections is important. You need to know who you're voting for. Y'all over here putting sex offenders in here, child abuse judges in here, and you wonder why you can't move 2 steps. However, Judge Roach, now I'm on your avenue.
You see there? You see? He child abuser. But he's sitting up in the chair trying the case. He a child abuser. So we have to hold people accountable, regardless of what race, your ethnic background, whatever. Everybody deserves a fair trial. Everybody deserves fairness and to be treated fairly. Based on whatever bigamy that they had against this young man, he should have been given a fair trial. He should have been given the right to be judged by a jury of his peers. He deserved the right to have his day in court. His rights was taken away from him, but we just saw a case where the rights was not taken away from them. So, regardless of race, in this case, a lot of people think it's race driven. But we have to start holding our elected officials accountable. How is it that the common people can't get certain jobs based on their convictions, but we got pedophiles and everything sitting in high office? I wouldn't want a pedophile trying my case. And I'm willing to bet you he's on that register, but I'm willing to bet you he's not on the sexual register. We have to, as she said, go out and vote. Hold our elected officials accountable. Because this young man was not given a fair trial. The defense needs to be reported to the bar. And based on the doctrine of self-defense, none of the court cases was brought up that used self-defense as a defense. None of them was cited. I went over the court transcripts. None of them was cited. None of it was cited. None of it was done. It's all bad. And so my deepest prayers is to this young man. I have another. Let me see what this is. Protect your peace. I appreciate you so much. I agree. They talking about this fabricated evidence that they released on Juneteenth. Why did they choose Juneteenth to? Let's see. I gotta mute it.
Sealed us from being able to have a legal right to see what the fuck was going on in this case for a motherfucking reason. That's fine. Because he know when we have access, we don't play about our people. So how do he silence us? He closed the fucking case so we can't see what the fuck is going on. Also the reason he shut down black media from coming, he only had these white motherfuckers up in that courthouse so that they could tell the wrong fucking story about Karmelo Anthony. And they could tell the white story about the domestic terror, because that's what they were. Those twins are domestic racist terrorists. That judge fucked him. That prosecutor fucked him. They had them white dumb motherfuckers on their jury for a reason. When they pick their jury like that, that's designed because they know that their people are not smart as us. We can read through the bullshit. They follow their bullshit and believe.
Oh, I don't want my channel flag. She done a lot of cussing, baby. They will flag it. But y'all get the point. They did release. I think the timing was very strategic. It was very edited, botched. You could tell the parts of the editing that they done. I can tell because I do a lot of videos. So I can tell. Let's see, is this showing what happened? Oh, this one is showing y'all. Now, this is showing a little bit up close. Let me show y'all this one. Shout out to Protect Your Peace. Now, let me show y'all this one right here. This is showing him pushing him. Hold on. Hold up. Let me show y'all this one. I came up. Shout out to Protect Your Peace. She sent me some good stuff. Check this out, y'all.
Truth hidden away. Forward streets, another life gone. Karmelo stand, but the world paid him wrong. Video locked up, truth hidden away. Forward streets, another life gone. Karmelo stand, but the world.
You see him move over and push him?
Video locked up, truth hidden away. Forward streets, another life gone. Karmelo stand, but the world paid him wrong. Video locked up, truth hidden away. Forward streets, another life gone. Karmelo stand, but the world paid him wrong.
Yeah, he was standing over him and then pushed him.
Forward streets, another life gone.
Look like he got his hand in his face.
But the world paid him wrong. Video locked up, truth hidden away. Forward streets, another life gone. Karmelo stand, but the world paid him wrong. Video locked up, truth hidden away. Forward streets, another life gone.
Y'all see that? It's tragic. So, looking at this video, you can clearly see Austin, which is standing by him. You can clearly see that when he had his hand in his face. How wasn't the self-defense doctrine used? It wasn't used at all. He wasn't the aggressor at all from this angle of the video. Karmelo was not the aggressor. He wasn't the aggressor. So how was none of this considered in court? More witnesses, more character witnesses. None of those were done. I believe he was treated unfairly. He didn't get a fair trial. And I'm hoping he get his appeal in and he has his fair trial. This is tragic. And it goes to show you, without proper training in the home, what these kids go out and do. And instead of taking some accountability, the father wants to spew out more hate. He is the reason that his child felt entitled to put his hands on Karmelo, to harass him. That's not his intent. So what do you do? Why are you even bothering him in the first place? As I stated, my perception and perspective on it is, yes, if you're going to punish him, if Texas doesn't have this self-defense doctrine, then this is a good kid. He should not have been punished to 35 years without a record, criminal record. He was not even given first-time offender consideration. They gave him none of his basic rights in consideration on this. It is very tragic, very hard, very gut-wrenching. So, speaking to the parents, out there, Karmelo Anthony's case is one of the few cases where a child has had to resort to violence to protect themselves. From being bullied. When are we as parents is going to take some accountability for us showing our children that it's okay to be a bully? It's okay to provoke violence. It's okay to be prejudiced against someone because they may be different based on their skin color. They may not have the new shoes, the new whatever. When are we going to take some accountability for our children being toxic and bullies? In cases like this, I believe states need to adopt a law where the parents are held accountable as well. Now, we can't control what our children do all the time, and they may have came from a good background and just hung with some children and wrong crowd and became bad. I ain't talking about those parents. I'm talking about the parents that is direct cause of their children being bullies, putting their hands on people, harassing people, and all of that. I'm speaking directly to those parents. When are we going to say, I failed as a parent? Because we just heard commentary on the father and he's an idiot. And he's taught the children that same ideology. So when are we going to say enough is enough? The parents should be held accountable for this egregious behavior. If you're documented showing this type of behavior. Now, again, I'm not talking about the parents that has done all they can do and their children go astray for whatever reason and do something heinous. I'm talking about the ones that is a direct reason that their children thinks this okay. One child lost his life, and one child is facing, you might as well say, almost life in prison. Because by the time this young man, if no appeals is done and he is not granted his right to a fair trial, he's going to be deep in his 50s before he's released. And this is a good young man that made a very poor decision in the heat of the moment. But we wasn't there, so we don't know if he felt like his life was in danger and that was his only choice. But what I do know is we have a responsibility to our children to teach them better than what is being taught. Because Austin should have left him the hell alone. He had no business bothering him. Period. To the point where he's standing over there with his hand in his face and then he pushes him. It's never okay to put your hands on someone, assault anybody. Whether you're a male or a female or whatever color the skin you is, it's never okay to assault anyone. So I will be continuing to follow Karmelo's case, the appeal, when an attorney is filed besides this court-appointed attorney. I will not trust the court-appointed attorney. So his family needs to be attempting to get him some counsel immediately. But from my investigation on the case, it's been very hard dealing with the family because the father seems to be very money hungry from what I was reading. And so that's making it hard to get him the proper help and the proper people in place, allegedly. So that is my commentary on that. Anybody else watching have anything they want to add to that? I got the lights kind of dim, y'all, in remembrance of Juneteenth. I have the green light on. So that was done on purpose. It's not usually that dark. That was done on purpose. Anybody have anything they want to add before I close out? And I would just simply say, continue to follow the case, y'all. Continue to send prayers to both families. Although the father is an idiot, he does have a mother, and it is not good to have to bury your child. So my heart goes out to him, to both families. One has lost a life and one is faced with 35 years in prison. So no side won. No side won. So I'm going to send a good shout out to all of my mods that came in, that made sure no one came in the channel with no foolishness. I only had one bot weird comment. They were removed immediately. I appreciate all the new people that dropped in. They gave their commentary very respectfully. It was greatly appreciated. And yeah, I will be back with another hot topic. But I'm gonna do some more stuff on these parents, man. We gotta talk about these parents and what we're showing our children and how it's affecting our children. I will be back on live again. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you guys enjoyed the rebranding of the show. It is now KGJA Crowns and Conversations. We have 3 different shows. We have our jury show, we have Unworldly Perspectives, and we have Fixing Your Crowns. So be on the lookout for all of the shows. I am going to try to start going live a lot more when my schedule permits. So you guys make sure you like, subscribe, and comment to build me back up in the algorithm so more people can find the channel. And I will see you guys soon. I hope y'all be blessed. Remember, being biased, being rude, being mean, being egregious, and teaching your babies that is not acceptable. We have to do better as the leaders of our household to teach our children better. Continue to pray for everybody. I pray for you guys. I pray safety for you all. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for joining the show. I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Don't you wish that your accessories was hot like us? Don't you wish that you was a queen of bling? Don't ya?
Don't ya? Don't ya? Don't ya?
If you want our accessories, dial 318-780-7586 and you will get the bling
Of ring.